Hello and welcome to the Libra Path of True Love reading for the month of July 2019 for Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. I am your reader for today, Angelo Lyons, and I have a very cool connection and relationship to the sign of Libra in that in my own natal chart I am Mercury conjunct Venus in Libra, and Mercury conjunct Venus is kind of common. It's not rare because they travel so close together, small orbits around the sun. So yeah, and because I'm Leo rising, it's in my third house, which is communication. So I figured this one might be interesting. So to prepare myself, a little coffee, but after a very interesting day, I sat down to meditate, as I do before I do all of these, kind of tune to the zodiacal sign in the collective unconscious in terms of the path of true love and all of that, connecting with my angels, my gods, my masters, and we'll get to that in a minute. So let's just say a couple of minutes ago, I kind of got a download from the goddess Aphrodite and the god Eros, her son, but we will get to that as well. But this feels a little mystical, folks. We're talking about Libra. We're talking about Libra and true love. We're talking about balance. We're talking about some very interesting things tonight. So I'm really interested to see for myself because, you know, I've done Virgo. I am a Virgo. That one was interesting. I can't wait to see Pisces. I'm a Pisces moon, but my work here is really to do the prayer and the practice beforehand. So I really become a channel, a vessel, or whatever, a means through which guidance and grace can come through these readings on a subject that's very important, not just to individual people, but to all of humanity, because love is the answer. But when you get what true love really is, let's just say it's a different story than what most people think. So I'm working with 3 different channels. If you like, that word still annoys me, I'll find a good one eventually, of information. My angels, my gods, and my masters. I'm a true eclectic witch, my darlings. So for the angels, I work with the Doreen Virtue Healing, Angelic Healing Oracle, or something like that, the name. For my gods, because I'm truly a mystic, my Hellenic gods, as I already mentioned, Aphrodite and Eros, my pantheon of 12 thrones, the gods rotate in and out. So how I communicate with them in terms of divination, which divination really does mean interaction with the divine if you break the word up, I communicate with them through the Daughters of the Moon Tarot by Fiona Morgan, a magnificent deck. I've talked about it in other videos, been reading it since I'm 18, 19 years old. So I love this one. It is definitely a feminist deck. I am definitely a feminist. So I think I'm going to have a bit to bring to this from my own personal experience, and yet at the same time trying to be as impersonal as I can, being a Venus in Libra sign. Boys, I have to be mama for a moment. I had a feeling tonight, you know, since I started doing these, I have been like, I mean, I'm a professional intuitive anyway. I'm a Pisces moon. I'm usually used to it, but like it's been a little bit of an episode of Charmed here for the past few days. So I just had a feeling the boys were gonna be up, and I hate squirting them with water, but dominance displays are one thing. All out violence in the house isn't. So deal. So okay, so my third channel, whatever you want to call it, are the masters, the ascended masters, and I will find a better way to describe them, but that's what people usually think of them as. Souls, spirits that have graduated planet Earth, completed their highly individualized curriculum, and of course, in a way like bodhisattvas, reach back into the game to help. And to read them, I'm working with The Love Pack by Chuck Spizzano. Quickly becoming an interesting love-hate relationship with some of my clients and some of the people watching these. videos, because, you know, you expect a love and light pack to be about like the card of happiness. Who doesn't want to get the card of happiness? But then also have to deal with the card of the fear of inadequacy. So these cards I call the womp womp cards, womp womp. But when they are non-womp womp, the wompless cards, they're delightful too. But, you know, they do show us what is out of balance. Speaking of Libra, let's get down to work. I was sitting outside, as I said before, and I sort of got this download from Aphrodite and Eros, and they said, fix your hair, change your clothes. You've been doing this all day, running errands, spruce yourself up. So I got like a quick, like 10-second makeover by the goddess herself. Oh, and he's told to bring him out. Here is my Eros statue. My Eros statue is, I wouldn't say special to me, but he usually hangs out in my bedroom. I put him in the kitchen. Beautiful thing with his bow and arrow. And I actually have a piece of jewelry. I'm not wearing it right now. I think it's over there. Hold on one second. One sec. Yep, there you are. Cupid's bow. Eros's bow. All right. The bow of Eros. And I wear it on my right arm because, you know, bow and arrow. I should wear it on this side, but whatever. That's where I'm guided to wear it. So I always have a totem. All of these are totems of different gods of mine. So just so that you get, I have a very, very close relationship with this particular Libra dealio. So let's do this. For the path of true love for Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the month of July 2019. My angels, please, can you give us a card, an overview, an insight? Path of true love. Oh, there they are. For Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the month of July 2019. Top card, spiritual growth. This one came up in a previous reading today. So that's a good place to start. Sometimes I will go into them as we go. They're telling me keep it moving because it makes a bigger picture. Probably a symmetrical one would hope, with Libra. Oh, my gods. Eros, Aphrodite. Oh, can you please give us a card, a symbol, a sign, some guidance, some grace from your perspective of the path of true love for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for the month of July 2019. Cut the deck in half as close as you can. There is the card. Ooh, the Wanderer. The Wanderer, the Nine of Flames, which would be the Nine of Wands. Libra, sounds like we're going on a journey, which I often see that card, by the way, as something indicative of the hero's journey, the Wanderer. We'll talk about the Wanderer, but also indicative of the path of true love. So you're the first one to get that particular card in any of these readings. Not that we've had tons of repeats, but thank you. Excuse me. One sec. Okay. My masters. They keep telling me slow down when I do this because the energy revs high and I don't feel like I'm revving that high, but probably means for the shuffle too. My masters, one in particular, one that I'm doing this true love stuff with, I ask you please for one card, an overview, an insight, a symbol for the path of true love for Libra, Sun, Moon, rising and Venus sign for the path of for the month of July 2019. Sorry, this is distracting. Communication. Communication of spiritual growth to the wanderer. Now, what I feel about this off the bat and what I like about this off the bat is the air sign quality of communication and spiritual growth. Now, spiritual growth technically is not the element of air, the element of spirit. Spirit is the element of spirit. So, you know, it's different. But certainly when we're looking then at the wanderer, that Libra, one who wanders is not lost. A wanderer may have an ultimate destination, but does not know ultimately the way there. They pick a direction and they begin to wander. Yes, there is a piece of this about garnering and gathering momentum as you move forward as well. I mean, it's a wagon wheel. It's the wanderer is you know, got the wagon, those wheels, forward motion for sure. But with that card of spiritual growth, I don't know how physical this is. There is definitely an ethereal, I don't want to say ethereal, I mean, the angels are ethereal, I get that, but not just air sign, but sort of that place where third eye and crown chakra intersect, right? Because the chakras, obviously, they overlap. I mean, they're all manifestations of the same great white light. Oh, it takes a while to get going, but once it does, I love you. Go to your room. What, like I have any control here? I open the cans. So as physical as that was, that there is something ephemeral. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for here. And because we're talking about Libra here, it's my third house. It's really trying to find the right words for this feeling, which feels actually really nice. That we're talking about a communication of spirit, that there's an understanding of something about the path and where you are on the path, which is not just about this reading right now, but about the whole month of July. So some clarity. So let's definitely get some clarity. Let's get some cards. Okay. Let's go right back to the angels. My angels, can you give us a card of clarification for this card, spiritual growth? You know why we're here. I don't got to repeat the whole thing. You told me I don't got to. So please, one card to clarify. Oh, spiritual growth. Study. Study. Study and spiritual growth. What a shocker for an air sign. All right, but now, as I said before, there's that, because study feels very here and spiritual growth is here. So we really are, if we're going to go chakric for a minute, really about communication between the crown and third eye. But you see, the crown chakra does not have language. The crown chakra is the satellite dish. The third eye does the languaging. So if you think of this like the goddess position, like drawing down the moon, you're sort of bringing that in. It comes in as inspiration and then instantly begins metabolizing in the third eye as thoughts and ideas and visions and things of that nature. Otherwise, it's pure spirit until, just like a radio wave in the air is just a radio wave until it hits an antenna and then gets transduced. Oh, please, now they're getting into electronics. Please, no, not at the moment, but you get the idea. Metaphors, good, we'll stop the metaphor right there. So this month is about spiritual growth, but something that you study, that there is a way to actually learn and participate. When you, it's one thing when you, oh, I'm in a lesson, but if I take it from the perspective of, oh, a study in true love, a study in a wandering through, we're going to clarify that, because that could really speak to the single people of just saying, babe, you're not supposed to be attached to anybody necessarily in the physical. You are free and open to sort of move around and wander around, and trust that there is a divine path already under your feet, and this wandering is part of it. All of the great masters wandered and wondered. I mean, the most classic is, I can go Old Testament. Moses in the desert for 40 years. That's a lot of wander. And, you know, Jesus in the desert for 40 days. I mean, I have to go Old Testament. I mean, I guess I could go different types of myth. Odysseus, Ulysses, the Odyssey. That's a wander. It's a long fucking way home, right? Going around the Mediterranean. Hey, I doubt I was there. Although I might have been a siren. It sounds like something that would fit on my resume. Dashing. I'll have a sailor on the rocks, please. Aphrodite. Okay, let's look at this Nine of Flames then, because we know we've got this study of spiritual growth. I don't know that we'll need to clarify anything else on that. That's why I love working with these cards in the way that they do. But my Aphrodite, my dear, my darling, and I feel both of you are really here. Well, you've been here for a while. So one card to clarify the wandering. What is the wandering for? Where does the wandering lead? And if we're not supposed to know, because that's what wandering is, can you give us an indication of something found? Thank you, my love. Something found in that wandering, perhaps a landmark to look for. Cut the deck exactly in half as best as possible. Bottom card, top card. Well, guess what? We've got a court card. We've got the Pisces, all right? The Maiden of Cups, Mami Watu, the Mermaid. Now, I'm a Pisces moon, so we'll go into that in a little bit. But the other one, which people often interpret this card in such a automatic reaction way that I love to go deeper on it. The Eight of Flames, burnout, burnout. So I'm really not sort of getting that burnout has to do with traditional burnout. I mean, burnout comes from overcommitment and saying yes when your gut and soul tells you to say no, that you just don't have the energy for it. You keep going and keep going. All sorts of things contribute to burnout in that sense. And certainly that card has meant that in readings. But as I tune to it, and I can pull some cards on this too, this is more about, look at this card, you can see it, right? That it is a forest, obviously, that has burned down, but in those ashes is fertility, is fertile soil, that something will grow out of it. That though we can see this as a disaster and a forest fire, it might also just be something that happens in nature, that it is left in ash. So that there is something left in ash that you are wandering away from, not really knowing where you're supposed to go. But with the Pisces, now this, look, here's how I roll with court cards in general. That yes, they can indicate people, but I think if you go only by element sign, fire, earth, air, water, or zodiac sign, you do sort of limit yourself, because if you know you're looking for a Pisces and you run into an Aries, you're going to discount them. I've seen it happen. And understand that it may not be their sun sign, right? Yeah, I want to see somebody's chart before I date them, but you know, that's just not reasonable. But there's a Venus in Libra for you. May I please look at your statistics, see if this balances out. Let me see your balance sheet. So though that's true of court cards, they often refer to people. These can also be qualities for where you are on the path of true love, and that there is a touch here of Piscean energy. And the trick about Piscean energy is it's two fish. Now, you can say one is positive and one is negative, one is love and one is fear, and I get the dualistic part of that. But one that really tends to work with me because of the mystical nature of Pisces, Pisces is definitely a sign of mysticism, is that it's the mystic and the addict. That perhaps an addictive pattern in you, or perhaps an addictive experience that you've had, let's put it that way, may or may not be a relationship. And, you know, relationships can go through patterns of addiction. And if you're walking the path of true love, it's often about healing that stuff. Whether you heal each other or you make each other heal yourselves, totally interesting thing. In other words, the relationship may not be about, oh, we're here to help each other heal. You're here to teach me how to heal myself. I'm here to teach you how to heal yourself. And those are rough. And that is a definition of twin flame that I learned from a brilliant spiritual teacher by the name of Matt Kahn, K-A-H-N. He's a Hay House author, but he was doing his own work on YouTube for a really, really long time. I really enjoy his stuff. He's been a true blessing in times when I have been in the wandering place, in the grace of humility, knowing that I don't know, particularly on the path of true love, but asking to be shown. And up on YouTube, boop, there he comes. Really, it's the Alexandrian library and a roulette tarot machine when it comes to this stuff, this YouTube. Oh, you kids and your tubes of you. So now remember, we put from the masters here, communication, that there's a lot going on here, a lot of movement. So let's get some clarity from the masters. Masters, the communication card feels pretty solid on its own there. Maybe we'll get to it. We'll go from left to right from my perspective. Yeah, okay. So let me tune. There she is, my masters. Can I please have one card for the spiritual growth study aspect that the angels have laid down here for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, month of July 2019 on the path of true love? Top card, infidelity. While I'm here, can we have one for this wanderer? Nice little clarifier for the wanderer, burnout, Pisces. There you go. Fear. And another clarifier, please, for that communication card. Doubt. Okay, now I get it. Take a deep breath. So, sure, we're going to start with the center stuff here, the tarot with the card of doubt. So here we've got this card of doubt, right? No, sorry, that's fear. There's fear and doubt. Yeah, they look a little similar that way. So where you are for this month that's coming up is you're going to be journeying through some fears. You're going to be confronted with, because they are being burned out of you, and chances are things have been turning to dust for you anyway. Maybe, again, not so much in the physical world. They're sending that around again. It may not be something that falls apart in the physical world so much as it is, for instance, about beliefs, right? Thought stuff, balancing mind and heart, right? Libra, balance, balance, balance. You may want so much, but not believe at all it's possible, and that's fine, fine. But the path of true love is to help you heal that stuff. This feels like you're being prepared for a journey and a communication, a connection that is going to bring you right into touch with your doubt and why you doubt and what that fear is that's going inside of you that perhaps came from an infidelity. That if you study it, all about spiritual growth as you wander. And this Pisces card, Pisces is connected to, is the symbol of the collective unconscious. Technically it's subconscious because it's element of water, but deep, deep, deep down, I mean, the 12th house, Pisces, 12th house, it's the unconscious. It's the depth that connects all of us. Not even that it connects all of us, it's from whence we come, right? The level of interior oneness within all of us. You're not the only one going through this, but it's like, okay, Libra, you get the month of July 2019. You're helping clear this for the collective. Look, they're probably going to be tears, right? Well, and if not tears, to really bring into balance, to not embrace your fears, let them possess you and run you. But as you're going through this, there is interior, intuitive, spiritual growth-based communication coming to you. They're redirecting me. You know, the thing about masters is they took the curriculum, and just like in a college, they achieved their degree. Now, what that degree ultimately is up to conjecture, and I think a lot of it's fiction. No ascended masters have appeared in my living room, as they have done to certain authors. Gary Renard, you should read Disappearance of the Universe anyway. It's a really good book. And you know what? He's a Pisces. Wouldn't shock me if ascended masters appeared on his couch, but I wasn't there. So I just, as a Virgo, go in and find the info. But as a Pisces, I know that that type of spirit communication, when we are dealing with fear and doubt, particularly after an infidelity, and maybe the infidelity was about your honor, you not being true to yourself, you're breaking a promise to yourself. Although they're saying chances are the larger percentage is it was from an infidelity, yours, or it was done to you. Or, look, I don't want to go and make prediction and say that you're going to be cheated on or you're going to cheat. But if we're looking at something that's a spiritual growth study thing, perhaps if you do this more interior work, you can be as prepared as one can be for such a thing. But then they're really pointing my attention towards this card of doubt, right? Where you got one character sort of offering, and the other one's just like, I don't know. I don't know me. No, I have doubts. That's the emotional baggage of uncertainty. Look, can you make a friend of uncertainty on the path of true love? Because that's what a wanderer does, right? They know the general destination, right? Because I've always loved in this card, it's like you can see the sunrise. He's like, what's over that next hill? She probably is a feminist deck. What's over that hill? I want to see what that is. I want to go there. I have no idea what it is, but I want to go there. Well, with that card of burnout, and then that strong, I mean, look, if a Pisces walks into your life that's very intuitive and triggers your fear, I would say that's something that you're going to come across across the path sooner or later anyway. But by the way, sometimes the ones who trigger that fear can be your true love partner, can be a soul mate. A soulmate is a relationship where the two of you help each other heal. And a lot of times they are friends. And if you're really lucky, family members. I'm lucky. I've got that with my mom. True soulmates. I mean, that doesn't mean we always get along, but it always works itself out. We truly love each other. Like true love ain't all about romance all the time. But Matt Kahn, when he talks about twin flames, because I never liked the word soulmate. Well, I didn't originally. I did like the term in the 80s when I read Jess Stern's book, Soulmates. Of course, I was a teenager, a young adult. Why wouldn't I? A teenager, I could drink. Boy, did I ever. But then over the years, it got so toxic that it just became like spiritual codependency is just all it looked at. And by the way, even the word codependency has morphed. It used to be about alcohol, you know, alcoholics, right? And now again, it's like these words have been diluted and now applied to ways that I don't know, that it's spilled over into the language of the spiritual ego, where it's using as you have to find your soulmate, you have to find your soulmate, and it's just as much chasing and running away as everything else. Where the purpose of the path of true love is not to make you happy, it's to make you whole, and you already are. It's the process of remembering the truth of who you are, that you are love, and all of that is lovely and very poetic, of course, to the Libra sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign, and Venus sign. But that to be very, very aware that the depth of the emotion that comes up, that somebody could be triggering your fear, and that it's under contract, it's under pre-incarnational agreement. And whether this could be somebody from the past with an infidelity that just pops out of nowhere and you doubt. Again, tuning to the collective, particularly with the Pisces card on the table, there's a lot of probabilities here. I see and feel the quantum of different ways this can play out, and kind of don't want to know what mine is at the moment. But I'll tell you this, I'm going to be going within. I'm going to be going within, and I'm going to be looking at my study and where the infidelities have been in my life, particularly my infidelity to myself. What are the vows that I've made to myself? And is there some baggage there? Forget what others have done to me. What have I done to Mark? Yeah. So overall, my Libra lovelies, this seems like an intense month coming up. But I tell you this, if you can take the journey, if you can not just love yourself, but really get that you are on a very personally choreographed part of the path of true love, and I mean personally just to you, that with that communication card there as well, pray, talk to your gods, your masters, your ancestors, the whole nine, but also talk to others. I mean, this is why I do readings for people. This is why I do spiritual counseling. I've walked a lot of this myself, and yes, of course, I can see aspects of my own stuff in here as well. But that's the thing about Libra. Sometimes Libra needs something to help them find balance, right? And sometimes talking it out, weighing it this way, weighing it that way, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can find that balance and take a step forward on the path of true love, even if you don't know exactly where you're going. Cool beans, my darling. Thank you so much for your time. It really was an honor reading for you, Libra, and I wish you all on the path of true love. Melchior wishes you well too. We all wish you here at Drawing the Circle Productions home office a blessed July 2019. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.